News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
Karen, we begin with the latest on global trade. President Trump says he will substantially raise the tariff on India's exports to the U.S. That's over the Asian nation's purchases of Russian oil. We get the very latest with Bloomberg trade czar Brendan Murray.
We've seen a pattern from President Trump that he will escalate things, the rhetoric in particular, to try to de-escalate things. So he is trying to put pressure on India to make a deal. It's one of the big countries that originally he said was going to be among the first of the agreements that he would sign, but it's not going to happen. And he's trying to put pressure on not just India, but also in the Russia situation. He has his envoy going to Moscow in the next day or two to try to end the war in Ukraine. So he's using tariffs, this tool of economic policy, to drive his foreign policy goals.
Bloomberg's Brendan Murray says President Trump did not say by how much he would increase the levy. India says the targeting of its country is unjustified and unreasonable.
Meanwhile, Nathan, some U.S. allies are headed to Washington to press the Trump administration to reduce tariffs. Switzerland announced yesterday it is ready to make a more attractive offer after being hit with 39% tariffs on its exports to the U.S. We get more from Bloomberg senior editor Derek Wallbank.
Switzerland and the U.S. have a long-standing relationship where Switzerland is even a protecting power for the United States in dealing with some countries that the U.S. doesn't have diplomatic relations with. So there's a lot of tight relations there. And Switzerland had been seen as a country that might be on the fast track, that was going to be one of the first ones to get a deal. From all accounts, the Swiss were blindsided.
Bloomberg's Derek Wallbank adds, unlike India, Switzerland is not talking about retaliation.
Well, now to a developing story in Washington, D.C., Karen. The Justice Department has opened a criminal investigation into claims that Obama administration officials took part in a conspiracy to link President Trump to Russian election interference in the 2016 campaign. Attorney General Pam Bondi is directing prosecutors to look into declassified documents that Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard released last month.
The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
DNI Tulsi Gabbard spoke at the White House in July. She claimed that President Obama misled the public with an intelligence assessment that Russia interfered in the election to help President Trump and improperly included a salacious, unverified document as an annex to that assessment. A spokesman for former President Obama is responding with a statement saying, quote, "These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction."
Now, Nathan, to the political story in Texas that's making waves across the country. Texas Governor Greg Abbott is ordering the arrest of Democratic lawmakers who left the state to block a vote on new midterm congressional maps. Many of those Democrats went to the Chicago area, where they're getting support from members of Congress, including Jasmine Crockett.
They are the ones that had to leave their families. They are the ones that have warrants out for their arrest. They're the ones that are doing things that, honestly, a lot of other people do not have the audacity to do.
Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett spoke alongside the Texas Democrats in Warrenville, Illinois. The arrest warrants don't carry criminal charges and can't be enforced across state lines. President Trump has urged Texas Republicans to withdraw their map as a way to retain GOP control of Congress in 2026. The move has Democratic governors like Gavin Newsom of California and New York's Kathy Hochul talking about retaliating with maps of their own.
Turning to markets now, Karen, futures are higher once again after yesterday's rally on Wall Street. And this morning, shares of Palantir are up more than 5%. The data software company reported a 48% jump in second quarter revenue to more than $1 billion. That topped Wall Street estimates. Palantir cited a, quote, astonishing impact of artificial intelligence technology on its business. Mandeep Singh is global head of tech research at Bloomberg Intelligence.
They needed numbers like this to really sustain the momentum, so they delivered. And the AI commentary is solid. So there is no doubt that the momentum they have seen with the business in terms of both acquiring new customers, they called out over $1 million deals. It was the highest. So a lot of good metrics.
Mandeep Singh of Bloomberg Intelligence says Palantir is also raising its full-year outlook.
Nathan, big oil earnings are in focus in Europe, and we go to London and get the very latest with Bloomberg's Ewan Potts. Good morning, Ewan.
Karen and Nathan, BP shares gaining today after the oil giant delivered earnings comfortably ahead of expectations. Analysts at Citi said that yesterday's news of a major oil discovery in Brazil could push investors to revisit the investment case. The firm also says it will seek cost cuts beyond current targets. Over in the Middle East, Saudi Aramco has reported a declining profit for a 10th straight quarter as lower oil prices outweigh the impact of higher production. The company's total dividend for the quarter just over $21 billion, down from $31 billion a year ago. And from oil to a different type of lubrication, London-based drinks giant Diageo, one of the best performing stocks in Europe today. That's after the maker of Johnnie Walker whiskey said it expects to maintain sales growth this year and announced more cost-cutting measures. In London, I'm Ewan Potts, Bloomberg Radio.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.